Everyone, and happy holidays from Las Vegas, Nevada. You know me online as Bifrost Actual. I'm a co-founder and the chief of technology for Swyftt, and today we're going to be demonstrating the token swap process from Storica to the new Swyftt tokens using our web-based platform. So before we get started, we want to look at a few requirements, a little bit of setup. This will ensure a smooth transition for everyone and a good experience. So first of all, requirement one, we need a desktop browser available. Sorry, no mobile devices are supported at this time. Second of all, we need a browser-based Ethereum wallet that is installed into the browser, and that the recommended wallet that we're going to be using today is Metamask. Now, why do we do that? Well, the web-based tool initiates several transactions throughout the process, and those transactions require transaction fees that need to be paid from the wallet. It needs to have access to a local wallet. So MetaMask is a Web3 compliant wallet. It is very popular, very safe, very convenient, and has been fully tested with our platform. The third requirement is that you have a small amount of Ethereum in that wallet, in the address that we're going to be using, because there are between 2 and 3 transactions that we launch. Those transactions are not free, but they're not terribly expensive either. But we need to have a nominal amount, just a couple of dollars worth of Ethereum available. So now let's switch over to my browser. I am using Firefox on a Windows 10 laptop. And I'm going to go to the swap tool, which has already been loaded. It is available now. It is published. You can find it at swap.swyftt.network. Okay, and this is the landing page for the tool. Now on the landing page, you have a few options, depending on your situation, to tell you how to proceed with your swap. The first option is my Storica tokens are on an exchange that is supporting the swap. This is the ideal situation. If this describes your case, then you're done. We've already swapped the tokens using the exchanges that are participating, and you don't have to do anything else. You'll just see in your account that you have Swyftt tokens instead of Storica tokens now. The second option is that your tokens are on an exchange that is not supporting the swap or is delisting Storica. In that case, you need to hurry up and withdraw your tokens as quickly as possible. Eventually, these exchanges will be locking out deposits and withdrawals. So we don't want anyone to get their tokens stuck on those exchanges. So what you need to do is install a local wallet. Again, we recommend Metamask for ease of use, and get those tokens down to your local wallet that you control. We'll jump to the fourth one here. If your tokens are in another wallet that is not MetaMask, okay, I know a lot of you use My Ether wallet or you use a hardware wallet, Ledger, Trezor, and so forth. For the purpose of this swap, what we're going to strongly recommend is that you go ahead and install MetaMask and transfer your tokens to your MetaMask address temporarily while we run the swap. And then once the swap is executed, then you can take your new Swyftt tokens and send them back to whatever your preferred wallet is. Okay, and then the option that we're going to be demonstrating today is number 3, that my Storica tokens are in a MetaMask wallet, and we're good to go. So if I click on that, there will be a button that will let me initiate the swap process. And of course, when I do that, I see there are the web tool is not detecting that MetaMask is installed. And that's on purpose. It's not installed. I want to demonstrate how to install it. If you've never used MetaMask, we're going to go through that process. So let's go ahead. I have a link to MetaMask right there. So we'll just jump over there. Okay, it detects that I have Firefox. Now we do know that MetaMask does work with Chrome. It works with Brave. It works with all the major browsers. So it also works on Macintosh and Unix systems, so you're good there. It's just today I'm using my Windows machine. So I'm going to click here, get the add-on, Add it to Firefox. Give it permission. And we're good. So let me just close that. And I've got it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and close all that and close the MetaMask. So what we'll see, excuse me, is that we now have this MetaMask icon up in the window. And if you click on that, there we go. It's going to walk us through a setup process. So we're going to create a local wallet. Of course, if you have a wallet and you have the seed phrase for that wallet, you can use that seed phrase to have a copy of the same wallet inside of MetaMask. That is possible, and I have done that. So, but today we're going to create a brand new fresh wallet. So get started. Yes, let's get set up, create a wallet. And it's going to give you a few warnings, things that you shouldn't do and so forth. So I'm going to agree to that. And now I need to give it a password and confirm it. Acknowledge the terms of use and create. Okay, now it's going to create a seed phrase. This is something that will allow you to recreate your wallet if you ever lose your computer is stolen, your laptop crashes, you have to reinstall your operating system, whatever the situation is, you need to be able to write down your key phrase, and then you can always recreate your wallet on another platform, be it on your phone or in a browser. So let's go ahead and reveal the secret words. Okay, and I'm going to pause the video while I write these down. Okay, now I've written the seed words down. There are 12 of them. So I'm going to go to the next step. It's going to ask me to confirm those by clicking on the words in the right order. So going off my notes here, it's field, road, into, group, dry, hollow, diesel, guide, tribe, insure, donate, and match. So once I have that, I can confirm, and now the wallet is created, and I'm taken to the page. This is the basic interface for MetaMask. Now let me go ahead and just close this tab for a moment so that you can see how to bring that tab back at any time. If you click on your MetaMask, if you click on it, boy, it's being slow. There it is. Okay, so that is the main account inside of MetaMask. If you have that, then you can click on the little menu and say expand view, and it will open up into a tab just like we have now. So now this is an empty wallet. It has no Ethereum, and notice it doesn't have Storica or Swyftt in there. So now the next step will be to add the tokens to the interface. So I'm going to click on add token. I'm just going to type in STQ. Now notice STQ doesn't show up on the list. Now I don't know what list or what source MetaMask uses to register tokens that it knows about. So what we need to do is actually add the Storica token as a custom token here. So I click on custom token, and then we're going to need the contract address for Storica. So the way you get that is you go up here to Etherscan, etherscan.io, and just type in STQ, because I know it's in there, and you see it's an ERC20 token, so just click on that. And then over here you have the contract address. So I'll just click on the icon to copy that address, and then go back to MetaMask and just paste it in. Paste it in there. Okay, now notice that the token symbol and the decimals of precision are automatically filled in for you. That means that MetaMask has gone out, queried the blockchain, and found the contract and gotten that information. So that's a good sign. So just then click Next and Add Tokens. And there we have it. Storica is now part of our interface. Now let's do the same thing for Swyftt. Okay, we're going to go back to Etherscan, and we're going to just up here in the search type Swyftt. Now notice there's 2 in there, so be careful. The one that we want is the one ending in the EB8. So that's our token. And again, I'm going to copy the contract address, go back to Metamask, add token, custom token, and then I'm just going to paste that in. Boom. So we have now the correct symbol, decimals of precision. Click Next, add tokens. Okay, now we have all of our definitions in. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video while I send some Ethereum and some Storica tokens in here, and then we can continue the demonstration. Okay, and we're back. Now, as you can see, I've transferred half of an Ether over to my new account, and 175,000 Storica tokens, so a good amount of tokens, and that is all ready to go. So let's jump in and start the swap process. So first thing I'm going to do is go back here. Let's split the screen so that we can watch what happens side by side. Just resize that a little bit. Now, obviously you have to be logged into MetaMask for this to work. We have seen that people have tried to do this without being logged in, and it does not work. Also, I am going to make the first attempt at a swap fail so that you can see what an error condition looks like, and see what to do if you do get an error. It does happen. I mean, you run out of gas sometimes. The network's very busy or whatever. Things happen. So the thing that you want to make sure in the MetaMask window is that you have your Ethereum account selected and not Storica or Swyftt. So let's just make sure that's selected because we're going to approve transactions from the Ethereum side. Next, we're going to go back to the swap tool. Again, it was saying that it wasn't installed, so now we're going to refresh the page, let it reload. Sorry, my internet connection may not be terribly fast. Okay, now we're good to go. So now I click. Notice it has figured out that we do have a wallet installed, so we can go and let's get started. So and jump over here. Look, as soon as the web tool came up, it found MetaMask and said, hey, I need to talk to MetaMask. So it's asking for your permission to connect so that it can communicate with your wallet. So just give it permission there, no problem. Next thing we need to do is enter your Storica Ethereum address into the web tool. So I'm going to just go over here and copy the address of account 1 and paste that in. Click Next. The next thing the contract does is it goes out and looks at what your balance of Storica is. So it correctly detects that we have 175,100, although it's cut off there a little bit, but there it is. So you can see there. So at this point, you have to decide how many tokens you want to swap. Okay, some people might want to try and do a test transaction. That's fine. All you would do is enter some amount that is less than your total balance but greater than 0. So, if I enter 100, that's fine. You can do that. In fact, that's what we're going to do. We're going to say 100 Storica tokens. However, that's not going to give us a lot of Swyftt back, but since we're going to intentionally make this thing fail, it's fine. So I click Next. So it comes to the confirmation page. We're going to exchange 100 Storica tokens for 0.0088 Swyftt tokens. So just confirm that. Make sure everything looks good. Everything's good in your MetaMask. And you say approve. Okay. Now the first thing that the system is going to do is go to the Storica contract, and it's going to give the swap tool permission to withdraw 100 tokens from your account. So that's what's happening. And if you see over here in your wallet, since this is a transaction that requires some gas, we need to approve it. Okay, now ignore this number. The fee is not $12.81. But I do like to go up and edit and make sure that we do the fastest possible transaction. Hit save and confirm. Now we have a pending transaction. Should take just a few seconds, maybe up to a minute. We can always go out and look on Etherscan and see what the estimated is, 1 minute and 24. My experience is it comes in usually a lot faster than that. Now over here on the swap tool side, we're just waiting for a confirmation of the transaction to come back. And as soon as it does, you will see a confirmation here, so the transaction will be confirmed, and then the swap tool will detect that and go to the next step in the swap. And we're waiting and we're waiting. Okay, I paused the video there to while I was waiting for the transaction. So the transaction here did confirm, and you notice that over here, the approval was processed, it verified the allowance, and now it's ready to call the swap contract to do the swap. And it has initiated a new transaction over in your wallet that, again, you need to approve. However, what we're going to do is we're going to reject that. We want to cause the swap to fail. So I'm just going to hit reject. And what will happen is the rejection should get detected, but we're not going to wait for it. We're going to just go ahead and start over with the swap. So let me come back here, and we're going to paste in our address again and hit next. And this time we're going to do the full amount. So we're just going to, instead of entering an amount less than our balance, we're just going to say, let's do the whole thing all at once. Click next. And on the confirmation, so we're going to be swapping 175,100 tokens for 15 Swyftt. And I'm going to approve that. And then we're going to come over here, and you see it's, now notice this is a little bit different. Now it says allowance is not zero. That's because the previous transaction failed and there's an outstanding allowance against your account. Now Storica is a little finicky. You can't set a new allowance if there is an existing one. So the first thing that we have to do is it has to set it back to zero. So instead of doing 2 transactions, it's going to do 3 in a row. It's going to set it to 0, then it's going to set it to the amount that we want to do, and then it's going to actually execute the swap. That's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to see this extra step because sometimes it does happen. So let's go ahead and approve this. I'm going to go ahead and set it for fast approval. And then again, I will pause the video while we wait. Oh, well, how about that? It happened real quick. Okay, the allowance was cleared. Now it's going to set the right approval. And so we have another transaction that we need to approve. Again, I'm going to set it for fast, confirm, and then we're just going to wait for that to come back to us. Okay, so now the allowance has been set properly, and we're ready to call the swap contract and swap the tokens. So you'll see here we have one more transaction to approve. You'll notice it does say swap. So we'll just click on that. And again, I'm going to give it a good amount of gas to make sure it gets done quickly and confirm. And that should come back pretty quickly. And as soon as it gets approved, then your balances will update here. And as Mike, our CEO, says, Bob's your uncle. Okay, and we're back, and you can see the swap transaction has confirmed. Over here in the swap tool, the swap has been processed, and it says, let's take a look at our balances. Now expand that out, and notice now all of our Storica tokens have been sent to the contract and replaced by Swyftt tokens. So, boom, we're done. Now at this point, if you want to keep your tokens in your MetaMask wallet, that's fine. Just always remember to keep your seed words written down and locked away in a safe place. Have multiple copies, actually. That's what I recommend. And or if you want to go back to your Trust Wallet, MyEther wallet, your hardware wallets, that's fine. Just transfer your balances right back, and then you're good to go. So thank you for listening. And of course, we're always online to provide ongoing support for your swap operation. If you have any problems, you can contact any member of the team or come on to the Telegram channel, Discord, and we'd be happy to help. So thanks for listening, and good luck with your swap.